So, my book talk today is on something called The Eyes and the Impossible. It's written by Dave Eggers. It was published in 2023, so it's pretty new, pretty relevant. Its intended audience, it's called an all ages book, but really it starts at around, I'll say, 10 years old, about fifth grade, either 10 years old or fifth grade, depending on the reading level of the student. And it can easily go all the way up to middle school, though I think its sweet spot is around fifth grade, maybe going a little into fourth or sixth grade. It's children's fiction, plain and simple. There's a couple pictures, but for the most part, it's just words. As you can tell, it has won the Newbery Medal. This is the first one I've reviewed that has actually won an award. So, a summary of this wonderful little book. It is about a dog that lives in a park, and the dog has a very special job. It's the eyes for the bison that live in a nearby zoo. And it tells the bison, these very wise, old, large mammals, what is going on and what changes are afoot in the park. The dog, has to evade capture, take care of his friends, and the book itself is a very good testament to hope and to acceptance of hard truths, but in a very palatable way for its age bracket. For personal reactions, this is one of my favorite children's books I have ever read. One of the things I really enjoy about it is the sense of like the perspective of the world from the characters. It's like an animal and a child came together and wrote a perspective, basically. The eyes, the dog that's right here, its perception of time and distance is very, very childlike. The dog, for instance, thinks that it can run faster than light and that it can run thousands of miles across the earth every day. Again, that's a very childlike perspective, but it also makes sense from the animal's perspective because it can run so fast and it does it so well that its sense of the world is so small, and so everything it does in its eyes is just so grand. And that does start to change as it meets goats from away from another place it hadn't considered. And there's a lot of that in the book. There's also a sense of acceptance. I won't spoil it, but I will say there's an escape attempt involving some of the large animals I talked about. And there's a sense of acceptance because it's very hard for, large animals to escape undetected. In terms of library uses, I would honestly love to showcase this book as an example of excellent children's literature that doesn't overly rely on pictures and isn't really in the graphic novel category. It is wonderful in terms of kids who are interested in animal books or kids who are interested in books that have to do with a very different perspective in a very different world that isn't fantasy, that isn't like science fiction, that's one that's more real, but still has an element of mysticism to it because it's from the perspective of an animal that hasn't experienced the world like a person. So that's how I would use it. And yeah, that's my book talk on The Eyes and the Impossible by Dave Egger. I can't recommend it highly enough.